Josh, let's talk a little bit about the wife who has pleaded guilty to her involvement in what is still an alleged conspiracy with this Billy Ray Turner, but she's saying that she was the person who hired a hitman, essentially. That's the allegation that was brought against her. So it was her who had the animosity toward her husband, her who wanted her husband dead. And then according to what prosecutors are sharing and what they've done in the way of the charging, it was this deacon that she knew through the church that was the man that she got to do it, allegedly. Tell me, when you have a case like this, and I'm sure you've had this perhaps either on the criminal defense side where you are now in your practice or when you served as a prosecutor, and you have co-defendants, but they're split up because one case has already been disposed of, one case is still pending. How does that make it tricky?
Yeah, well, in a case like this, we don't know enough yet about the evidence that pieces it together to find this co-defendant, the deacon. And so I imagine, as I sit here right now, I can't imagine how they would put this case together without putting the wife on. And if you're the defense, you hope that they never do, because you want that bad guy, right, that in this case a bad woman, outside of the courtroom, so that you can constantly be pointing the finger at them and saying, hey, listen, my guy wasn't involved, or if my guy was involved, he was as much a victim as anybody else here, and it's really her. She's the mastermind. But you bring her into court, that really changes the dynamic. And if she's able to take the stand and talk about honestly both her own involvement and the involvement of the defendant in court, I think that would be devastating to the defense. And I think that's the only way, as I can see things right now, that the prosecution is really going to be able to piece this all together for jurors in a way that they can understand and appreciate.
Right. If you had to bet, Josh, knowing what you know, drawing on all of your experience over the years, would you bet that she's going to be called as a witness by the state?
I would. I mean, she's already testified, or she's already pled guilty, right? She's already doing 30 years. There's really nothing that she can lose for herself, right? She's not putting herself in any further jeopardy. And maybe, you know, deep down inside, maybe there's some sort of conscience there that wants to get this off of her chest and make sure that the other people who were involved are found just as guilty as she was. I would expect that we are going to be hearing from her in this trial.